Have you ever felt that the universe holds secrets waiting to be unlocked? That somewhere, hidden in plain sight, lies a key so powerful it could transform your entire existence? For centuries, mystics, philosophers, and spiritual leaders have whispered about three simple words. Three vibrations that, when spoken with pure intention, can realign your entire reality. This is not mere fantasy or wishful thinking, but a profound vibrational science that reconnects us with the fundamental energy of the cosmos. The modern world has conditioned us to believe that complexity equals value, that transformation must be difficult, painful, and time-consuming. We've been taught that manifestation requires elaborate rituals, years of spiritual practice, or sophisticated techniques that only the privileged few can master. But what if the most powerful tools were also the simplest? What if the key to unlocking the universe's abundance has always been within your reach, waiting patiently for you to remember its power? The truth, as many ancient traditions have preserved, is that sometimes the most profound wisdom is contained within the smallest packages. Throughout human history, across diverse cultures and spiritual traditions, there has been a recurring theme: the power of the spoken word. From the Sanskrit mantras of Hindu tradition to the sacred incantations of Egyptian mystery schools, from the prayer practices of monotheistic faiths to the chanting techniques of Buddhist monks, the vibrational power of specific words has been recognized as a gateway to higher consciousness and manifestation. These three words we're about to explore have appeared in various forms throughout the ages, often hidden in plain sight, their power obscured by time and misinterpretation, yet their essence remaining unchanged. What makes these three words different from the countless affirmations, mantras, and positive statements you might have tried before? The difference lies not just in the words themselves, but in understanding their vibrational frequency and how they interact with the quantum field that surrounds us. When spoken with correct pronunciation, intention, and emotional alignment, these words create a resonance pattern that harmonizes with the creative forces of the universe. They bypass the conscious mind's limitations and speak directly to the universe's organizing intelligence. And unlike complicated manifestation techniques, their power is accessible to anyone, regardless of background, education, or spiritual development, requiring only the willingness to open your heart and mind to possibility. Look around at your life right now. The relationships, the financial situation, the health condition, the environment you inhabit, all of it represents the sum total of your past vibrations interacting with universal law. Are you living the life you truly desire, or have you settled into comfortable resignation, telling yourself that this is just how things are? For most people, the gap between their dreams and their reality isn't due to lack of desire or even lack of action. It's due to operating under a frequency of limitation that keeps them bound to outcomes that match their subconscious beliefs. The walls of this prison weren't built overnight. They were constructed brick by brick through years of accumulated conditioning. Well-meaning parents who taught you to be realistic. Educational systems designed to produce conformity rather than creativity. Media messages that reinforce scarcity thinking and personal experiences that seem to confirm that life is hard and dreams are just fantasies. Each disappointment, each rejection, each practical decision to abandon your true desires has reinforced these walls until they've become so familiar that you may no longer even see them. Like a bird born in captivity, you may have stopped noticing the bars that contain you. What makes this prison particularly insidious is that its main guard is your own mind. The moment you contemplate breaking free, it presents you with all the rational reasons why you should stay put. Who do you think you are? Remember what happened last time you tried something new? You don't have the resources, time, connections, and talent to achieve that. Be grateful for what you have instead of wanting more. These thoughts aren't random. They're programmed responses designed to maintain the status quo and keep you operating at your current frequency. They feel like protection, but they're actually limitation disguised as safety. The greatest tragedy isn't that this prison exists. It's that you carry the key to your cell door at all times, yet rarely recognize it. The three words that open the doors of the universe are, in their essence, a master key that unlocks this self-imposed confinement by instantly shifting your vibrational frequency. When properly understood and applied, they neutralize the limiting beliefs that have kept you bound to outdated patterns and create a new resonance that attracts experiences matching your true desires rather than your fears. But before you can effectively use this key, you must first recognize that the prison itself is an illusion, powerful and convincing, but ultimately not real. Everything in the universe, from the smallest subatomic particle to the largest galactic cluster, is, at its core, energy in motion. What appears as solid matter is actually mostly empty space filled with vibrating energy fields. Quantum physics has confirmed what ancient wisdom traditions have taught for millennia. The material world is not as solid or fixed as our senses perceive it to be. Instead, it's fluid, responsive, and fundamentally connected through unified energy fields. Your thoughts, emotions, words, and beliefs are not abstract concepts. They are specific energy patterns that interact with this field, sending ripples through the quantum fabric of reality. Your body itself is a sophisticated vibrational instrument. Your heart generates the body's most powerful electromagnetic field, measurable up to several feet away from your physical form. Your brain produces electrical impulses that can be measured and mapped. Even your DNA, the blueprint of your physical existence, emits photons, light energy that communicates with the cells of your body. When you speak, you're not just making sounds. You're creating pressure waves that interact with the energy field around you. And when you combine specific sounds with focused intention and elevated emotion, you create coherent energy patterns powerful enough to influence the materialization of your reality. Language itself is a vibrational technology, perhaps the most underappreciated transformational tool available to humanity. Different languages, words, and sounds create distinct energetic signatures. Some words, particularly those from ancient
sacred languages like Sanskrit, Hebrew, or Egyptian hieroglyphs, were specifically designed to produce certain energetic effects when pronounced correctly.
These weren't arbitrary linguistic developments, but conscious creations intended to harness specific frequencies. The three words we're exploring derive their power from this principle. They combine specific sound vibrations that, when voiced, with proper intention, create a harmonic resonance with the creative forces of the universe. Modern science is only beginning to catch up with what mystics have known for ages. Research in cymatics, the study of visible sound vibration, shows that different frequencies create different geometric patterns in matter. Studies on water crystals demonstrate that words, thoughts, and intentions can physically alter the molecular structure of water. Epigenetics reveals that our gene expression can be modified by external factors, including our thought patterns. Even the emerging field of quantum biology suggests that living organisms use quantum effects to optimize energy transfer. All these scientific developments point to one conclusion: vibration shapes physical reality, and by consciously controlling our vibrational output through tools like the three words, we can influence the manifestation of our physical experience. Your personal commitment to this practice will determine the depth of your transformation. Some people like to keep a manifestation journal where they record the subtle and dramatic changes they experience as they integrate the words open, create, transform into their daily lives. But let's continue. I still have a lot to teach you. Enter our comments. Open, create, transform, and join the channel. Before we reveal the three words themselves, it's essential to understand the vibrational frequency they're designed to activate. The frequency of abundance. Abundance isn't merely about material wealth, though that can certainly be one aspect of it. True abundance is a state of being where you experience the fullness of life, where health, relationships, creative expression, spiritual connection, and yes, material prosperity flow to you without strain or struggle. It's a frequency characterized by gratitude, expansion, possibility, and trust in the benevolent nature of the universe. Most people unknowingly operate at the opposite frequency, the frequency of scarcity. This state is characterized by fear, contraction, competition, and the belief that there isn't enough to go around. When you vibrate at this frequency, you're constantly in survival mode, experiencing life as a series of problems to solve rather than gifts to receive. Even if you consciously desire abundance, your subconscious programming may be broadcasting scarcity signals into the quantum field. This creates a frustrating disconnect where your conscious desires and your actual manifestations seem perpetually misaligned. You may work harder, set more goals, use more affirmations, but as long as your baseline frequency remains tuned to scarcity, your results will reflect that vibration. The 3 words are powerful precisely because they instantly shift your frequency from scarcity to abundance. They work like a tuning fork for your consciousness, automatically aligning you with the vibration of universal plenty. When spoken with understanding and feeling, they bypass your conscious mind's objections and directly access the subconscious patterns that govern your manifestation. They remind your entire being, mind, body, and spirit of its natural state, of connection with infinite supply. They don't just suggest abundance as a concept. They energetically embody the frequency of abundance, allowing you to step into that reality immediately rather than gradually. This frequency shift isn't temporary or superficial. With consistent application, the 3 words actually rewire your neurological pathways and energetic patterns to make abundance your default setting rather than a momentary state. They help you shed layers of programming that have kept you tied to limitation, revealing the natural abundance that has always been your birthright. Just as a radio must be tuned to the right frequency to receive a clear broadcast, your consciousness must be tuned to the frequency of abundance to receive its manifestations. The 3 words provide that precise tuning, allowing you to receive the universe's continuous broadcast of unlimited possibility. Right now, you might be experiencing a familiar internal resistance, a voice questioning whether 3 simple words could possibly create such profound change. This skepticism isn't just a random thought. It's your ego's self-defense mechanism activating to protect the status quo. Your ego, while serving important functions in your psychological makeup, is fundamentally invested in maintaining consistency rather than growth. It would rather keep you in familiar limitation than risk the uncertainty of expansion. This predictable resistance is actually a good sign. It indicates you're approaching a genuine opportunity for transformation. Throughout history, humanity's greatest breakthroughs have initially been met with dismissal and disbelief. When the Wright brothers claimed humans could fly, they were ridiculed. When electricity was first proposed as a power source for homes, people feared it would cause illness or fire. The internet, now integral to modern life, was once considered a passing fad with limited applications. This pattern of resistance to paradigm-shifting ideas isn't coincidental. It's a feature of human psychology that prioritizes the known over the unknown, even when the unknown offers exponentially greater benefits. Your personal skepticism about these 3 words follows this same pattern. What makes this barrier particularly challenging is that it operates under the guise of rationality and protection. Your mind presents logical-sounding arguments. If it were this simple, everyone would be doing it. Or, I've tried similar things before without results. Or perhaps, this sounds too good to be true. These thoughts seem reasonable, even wise, but they're actually limiting beliefs in disguise. They're not protecting you from deception. They're protecting your current reality from disruption. They're the guardian thoughts that keep the prison of limitation secure, making sure you remain within the boundaries of what your past conditioning has defined as possible. The key to overcoming this barrier isn't to fight against your skepticism, but to acknowledge it while choosing to temporarily suspend disbelief. Great scientists, inventors, and visionaries throughout history didn't succeed by eliminating doubt. They succeeded by moving forward despite it, maintaining what psychologists call the beginner's mind, an openness to possibility unhindered by preconceptions. The 3 words work regardless of whether you fully believe in them initially. Their power doesn't depend on your faith, but on their inherent vibrational properties. by simply using them as prescribed, with sincere intention, rather than perfect conviction. You give yourself the opportunity to experience their effects firsthand, allowing evidence to replace skepticism through direct experience.
The moment has come to reveal the 3 words that open the doors of the universe. I am enough. These simple yet profound words contain vibrational power that, when properly activated, creates an immediate shift in your energy field and begins
attracting corresponding experiences into your reality. At first glance, they might seem ordinary, perhaps even disappointingly so if you were expecting something exotic or mystical. But their simplicity is precisely what makes them so accessible and powerful. They don't require special knowledge, spiritual advancement, or complex rituals to use effectively. They simply require your willingness to embody their truth. Each word serves a specific vibrational function in the sequence. I establishes your identity as a conscious creator, separate from circumstances and conditions. It declares your sovereignty and agency in the universe. AM activates the present moment, the only point of power and creation, anchoring your declaration in the eternal now rather than the non-existent future or past. Enough is the vibrational key that unlocks the flow of abundance by declaring completeness rather than lack. Together, these 3 words create a harmonic frequency that aligns perfectly with the universe's natural state of plenty, opening channels for manifestation that remain closed when operating from scarcity consciousness. The power of these words transcends their dictionary definitions. When spoken with proper understanding and feeling, they create a vibratory signature that the quantum field recognizes and responds to. They are not merely a positive affirmation or a psychological boost, though they certainly provide those benefits. They are a direct communication with the intelligent energy that underlies all creation. They tell the universe, I recognize my inherent completeness and worthiness to receive. This recognition is what shifts your frequency from scarcity, always needing more to be complete, to abundance, operating from completeness that naturally attracts more. What makes I am enough particularly transformative is that it addresses the core frequency distortion that blocks abundance for most people. The deeply held belief that they are somehow inadequate, unworthy, or incomplete as they are. This fundamental misconception that you must become something more before you can have and experience what you desire creates a perpetual chase that keeps fulfillment constantly out of reach. By declaring, I am enough, you reverse this pattern, recognizing that receiving flows from being rather than doing. You acknowledge that worthiness is your birthright rather than something earned through struggle. This profound shift in self-perception changes everything about how the universe can interact with you. Merely saying, I am enough without understanding how to properly activate its vibrational potential is like having a powerful instrument without knowing how to play it. The effectiveness of these 3 words depends not just on verbalization, but on how you engage your entire being in their expression. The activation protocol involves 3 essential elements: proper pronunciation, emotional amplification, and energetic embodiment. When these elements align, the words become a vibrational key that unlocks universal abundance. Proper pronunciation begins with mindful articulation. Speak each word clearly, giving it space and presence. I, pronounced as a long sound, allowing your identity to fully express. Am, vibrating with the power of present moment creation. Enough, emphasizing the completeness in the sound, letting the final F sound fully release. The rhythm matters too. Say the words slowly, with deliberate pauses between them. I am enough. This pacing allows each vibration to fully establish before introducing the next, creating a clean, coherent signal rather than muddled frequencies. Practice this pronunciation until it feels natural and resonant within your body. Emotional amplification transforms these words from intellectual concepts to energetic reality. As you speak them, consciously generate the feeling of enoughness, the deep satisfaction, peace, and completion that comes with knowing you are sufficient exactly as you are. Feel the relief of releasing the chase for more. Feel the groundedness of standing in your worth. Feel the expansiveness of recognizing your connection to infinite supply. These emotions aren't superficial or manufactured. They're authentic expressions of your true state when artificial limitations are removed. The stronger and more genuine these feelings, the more powerful the vibrational broadcast becomes. Energetic embodiment completes the activation by engaging your entire energy field. As you speak the words with emotional amplification, imagine them resonating through every cell of your body, creating coherence in your physical form. Then extend this resonance outward, feeling it harmonize your aura, the electromagnetic field surrounding your body. Finally, project this coherent energy into the quantum field around you, knowing it's interacting with the creative substance of the universe. This embodiment transforms the words from a personal affirmation to a universal declaration that ripples through the fabric of reality, reorganizing energy patterns to match your new frequency. For maximum effectiveness, implement this protocol at specific times when your consciousness is most receptive, immediately upon waking, before your conscious mind fully engages, just before sleep, when your subconscious is becoming more accessible, after meditation, when your energy is clear and coherent, and during moments of inspiration or gratitude, when your vibration is naturally elevated. Consistency matters more than duration. A sincere 1-minute practice done daily will create more lasting change than occasional hour-long sessions. Begin with 3 repetitions of the complete phrase at each session, gradually increasing to 7 repetitions as the vibration becomes more established in your field. Despite the simplicity of this practice, certain common pitfalls can diminish its effectiveness. The most prevalent is mechanical repetition, saying the words while your mind wanders elsewhere or doubts their truth. Remember that these are not magical incantations that work automatically. They are vibrational tools that require your conscious participation. If you notice your attention drifting or your emotions disconnecting during practice, gently bring yourself back to full engagement. Quality of presence always trumps quantity of repetitions. One fully embodied declaration contains more manifestation power than 100 distracted recitations. Another frequent obstacle is the yes but syndrome, acknowledging the words while simultaneously contradicting them with limiting thoughts. I am enough, but not for that particular desire. Or, I am enough, except in this area of my life. These mental reservations create conflicting frequencies that cancel each other out, like trying to drive with one foot on the accelerator and one on the brake. When these contradictions arise, don't fight or suppress them. Instead, notice them with compassion, understanding they're simply old programming running its course. Then gently but firmly redirect your focus to the pure vibration of I am enough, allowing it to gradually dissolve these contradictions through consistent practice. Impatience often sabotages this work before it can gain momentum. We live in a culture of immediate gratification that conditions us to expect instant results. When profound shifts don't materialize overnight, many people abandon practices prematurely. Understand that while I am enough creates immediate energetic changes, the manifestation of physical results follows divine timing that respects the natural unfoldment of all elements involved. Some shifts will appear quickly, others require more time as the universe orchestrates the perfect alignment of people, opportunities, and circumstances to deliver your matched vibration. Trust this process rather than imposing artificial timetables that create frustration and doubt. Perhaps the most subtle yet powerful resistance comes from fear of change itself. Even change for the better requires leaving familiar patterns behind, and this can trigger surprising anxiety. As I am enough begins shifting your vibration, you may notice unexpected emotions surfacing. Grief for time spent in limitation, anger at systems that promoted false scarcity, fear of who you'll become or how relationships might change as you embody your true abundance. These emotions aren't signs of failure. They're evidence that real transformation is occurring. Welcome them as part of the clearing process, allowing them to move through you without derailing your practice. Each emotion released creates more space for your new vibration to establish itself. As you consistently practice the activation protocol, subtle shifts will begin occurring that signal successful vibrational change. Many people report experiencing enhanced synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that seem orchestrated by an intelligent universe. You might notice relevant numbers appearing repeatedly, overhear conversations that directly address your questions, or encounter the perfect book, video, or person exactly when needed. These synchronicities aren't random. They're feedback from the universe confirming your alignment with the abundance frequency and guiding you toward its fuller expression in your life. Another common early indicator is a spontaneous shift in perception, suddenly seeing opportunities where you previously saw only obstacles. Solutions to long-standing problems may appear with surprising clarity. Creative ideas might flow more abundantly. You might notice resources that were always available but somehow escaped your attention before. This perceptual shift occurs because I am enough literally changes how your brain filters information. When operating from scarcity, your reticular activating system, the brain's attention filter, is programmed to notice lack and limitation. As your vibration shifts to abundance, this same system begins highlighting evidence of plenty instead. Physical and emotional shifts often accompany vibrational change as well. Many practitioners report sleeping more deeply, experiencing increased energy, feeling inexplicably happier, or noticing a new sense of ease in their bodies. Others observe changes in appetite, reduced craving for stimulants or depressants, or a natural gravitation toward healthier choices. These physical changes aren't secondary effects, but direct manifestations of your new frequency. The body, as a concentrated energy field, responds quickly to vibrational shifts, often before external circumstances visibly transform. Welcome these sensations as confirmation that the protocol is working at the most fundamental level. Perhaps the most significant early sign is a changing relationship with challenging circumstances. External conditions that previously triggered stress, anger, or anxiety may still exist, but your response to them fundamentally shifts. You'll find yourself naturally accessing greater patience, creativity, and resilience when facing difficulties. This doesn't mean becoming passive or accepting negative situations, quite the opposite. It means engaging challenges from a centered place of sufficiency rather than reactivity, which paradoxically enhances your power to create effective change. This emotional resilience is a direct result of the vibrational statement, I am enough, which breaks the link between external circumstances and internal wholeness. While consistent practice of the three words creates powerful change, the ETB's ultimate goal isn't to repeat them forever, but to so thoroughly embody their vibration that it becomes your default state of being. This transformation from verbal practice to energetic embodiment represents the deepest level of manifestation power. When I am enough shifts from something you say to something you are, the doors of the universe don't just open temporarily, they remain permanently accessible, allowing continuous flow between your consciousness and universal abundance. This embodiment naturally begins expressing through your decisions and actions. You'll find yourself making choices from abundance rather than scarcity, investing rather than hoarding, expressing rather than withholding, expanding rather than contracting. You might notice yourself naturally setting healthier boundaries, pursuing long-deferred dreams, or speaking truths you previously kept hidden. These behavioral changes aren't forced or disciplined. They're the natural expression of your new vibrational baseline. Like water flowing downhill, your actions simply follow the path of least resistance, which is now aligned with abundance rather than limitation. Your relationships transform as well, reflecting your new frequency. Some connections may naturally fall away as their vibrational mismatch becomes more apparent. Others will evolve as the people in your life respond to your changed energy. New relationships aligned with your abundance frequency will appear, often with surprising ease and synchronicity. Most importantly, your relationship with yourself fundamentally shifts. Self-criticism gives way to self-appreciation. Harsh internal dialogue softens into supportive guidance. The constant sense of not-enoughness that drives most human striving is replaced by a stable recognition of your inherent completeness. Recognition that paradoxically attracts even greater expansion and fulfillment. The ultimate embodiment of I am enough transcends personal gain to become a service to collective consciousness. As you stabilize in this frequency, you naturally become a vibrational model that helps others remember their own abundance. Without effort or intention, your presence reminds people of possibilities they've forgotten. Your example demonstrates that another way of living is available. Your energy field, now coherently broadcasting the frequency of plenty, interacts with the fields of those you encounter, creating ripples of possibility in the collective consciousness. This is how personal transformation becomes planetary evolution, not through preaching or convincing, but through embodied vibration that awakens remembrance in others. What begins with 3 simple words ultimately reveals itself as an infinite doorway to universal co-creation. As I am enough becomes your energetic foundation, you'll discover that this state of abundance consciousness isn't an endpoint, but a launching pad for ever-expanding expression and experience. From this platform of completeness, desires no longer emerge from perceived lack, but from inspired creativity, the natural impulse of universal intelligence to experience itself in new ways through your unique perspective. Your manifestations become less about filling holes and more about adding new dimensions to an already full existence. This shift fundamentally changes your relationship with the future. When operating from scarcity, the future is approached with anxiety or desperate hope, a place where things might finally be better than the insufficient present. From the vibration of I am enough, the future becomes an exciting canvas for creative expression, rather than a rescue from current lack. This liberated relationship with what's coming naturally accelerates manifestation because it removes the frequency of need that actually pushes desired experiences away. Creation flows most powerfully from wholeness, not from brokenness seeking completion. The ultimate revelation of this journey is that the universe isn't something external to access, but an extension of your own consciousness. The doors that open aren't pathways to something separate from you, but revelations of what was always available yet hidden by vibrational mismatch. As the frequency of I am enough stabilizes in your field, the artificial boundaries between you and the universe begin dissolving, revealing the profound truth that has been at the heart of mystical traditions throughout human history. You are not separate from the abundant, intelligent energy that creates worlds. You are a unique expression of that energy, temporarily focused in particular form, but fundamentally one with its unlimited nature. This recognition brings both profound power and profound peace. Power, because you no longer see yourself as a small entity trying to manifest against external forces, but as a focal point of universal creativity expressing through your unique perspective. Peace, because the desperate striving that characterizes most human existence, the endless chase to become, achieve, and acquire enough, dissolves in the recognition that what you've been seeking has been your true nature all along. The search ends not because you've found something external, but because you've remembered who you really are. And in that remembering, all doors stand open, all possibilities become available, and the abundant nature of existence reveals itself as your own reflection. The 3 words, I am enough, are both beginning and completion. They initiate a journey of remembrance that eventually reveals there was nowhere to go, nothing to become, nothing to achieve to be worthy of unlimited good. They start as a practice and culminate as a recognition so fundamental it transforms everything while changing nothing at all. This paradox can't be understood by the mind that operates in duality, but it can be experienced by the heart that recognizes unity. And that experience, beyond all concepts and techniques, is the true opening of the universe's doors.
The revelation that they were never closed except in perception, and that your natural state has always been, and will always,
Be enough.